I'd like to show you a couple of things here right now while we're outside, and we're not going to be doing a terrible lot of filming out here today, but I'm going to show you some things about my dad. And I think I've said in kind of clips before that probably my dad was my best parent of my two parents, although my mother did a lot of helping with me in various things and whatnot. But I want to show you a couple of things here that my dad built, okay? Right here I have a shovel. It's a pretty primitive looking little shovel or whatever. It's all made of metal, and my dad actually manufactured this on his own with his own ideas and stuff like that, and it's got rivets in it, but it's all made out of metal. And what he used this for was downstairs in his original home after he came back from the Second World War. He had a little kind of coal wood burning stove downstairs that he could heat up the downstairs where his shop was. And so he made this to put in the coal or whatever into that stove. And kind of I cherish this little shovel. I don't use it really for anything, but it's all metal, and he put this together and he made this. Here's another thing that my dad made, and this kind of shows you his ability to construct things. This is a big size clamp, okay, that he made himself. This part of the clamp right here is 2 layers of plywood, and he screwed this together for strength. He had to, of course, buy the screw part of the clamp. He had to buy that, inserted it into this big fashioned piece of wood and whatnot. But that's the kind of thing that my dad did. Absolutely marvelous and wonderful things. In the garage right behind me right now are things that he built for me. There's one kind of sliding drawer case of many drawers in it that he built for my mechano pieces way long time ago, and the little electric sets that I grew up with and doing experiments with. And so he was a very precise builder in doing those kind of things that I definitely couldn't do. Whenever he would build cabinets or cupboards for folks in and around the Brandon area, I would look at the lists of equipment and pieces of lumber that he would need for doing this project, and it was absolutely meticulous. He had the 1/4 inches, the plywood or the material that he needed on these long lists and things like that. He knew exactly what he was going to do with it all. So this is the kind of person that my dad was. And I think I mentioned before that, okay, when we talk about digging, and in one of the books that I wrote about Dad at D-Day and beyond, he told me that he used to dig trenches overseas on Juno Beach and things like that, wherever they were being attacked by German bombers or explosives or whatever. He would dig actual trenches with his bare hands. And what he said to me about that was that if he dug a trench big enough to sleep in overnight, if there was an explosion right close to him, the explosion would blow right over past him and not injure him. But if he was laying on top of the area or whatever, that explosive material would come there and shatter them and kill whoever was out in the open. So he was very smart that way in so many ways and things like that. And he did get hit with some shrapnel at one point in time, and the doctor said, well, we're just not going to take that piece of shrapnel out or whatever. But I knew exactly on his hands where that piece of shrapnel was, and I admired him totally for all that he did, not only for me, but in my parents' house. He built the house, bought a house after the Second World War and down in the north end of Brandon, and it was kind of like a shack-like structure, but he built it, he added on to it as the family grew in size. So these are keepsakes of mine that I cherish so very much of what he did. And so we'll move on to another section here right away.